see all you in front of the stage. Hey, wave the flag, wave the flag, wave the flag, wave the flag now. Get them, 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 get them. Wave the flag, wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag.
Bethesda, Coteaux. Good night, brothers and sisters. In usual format, we'll start with a prayer. We'll start with a prayer by Brother Garth Charles. Correction. We go with Brother Benjamin. In the TPP, we have resources. Come on, press up this evening, my brother. Then we'll follow with the national anthem.
TPP family, pleasant good night. Let us bow our heads as we invoke the presence of the Holy Spirit to be with us. Gracious Father, we give thee thanks and praise once again for everything that thou hast done for us in the past. We give thee thanks and praise for delivering us from the hand of the Pharaoh once again. We give thee thanks and praise for bringing a great leader to lead us across the promised land. And we are confident of this one thing, that the work that thou hast begun in the leader, by the political leader, Farley Augustine, this work will be completed next Monday. When this work would have been completed, praise, honor, and glory be unto your matchless name. We invoke the Spirit of the Holy Spirit upon all the executive members of this party. Cover them with the robe of righteousness and with the blood of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Let no evil propensity prevail over them, and let thy will be done on earth as it will be in heaven, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Brothers and sisters, let's stand for the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chairman of the Tobago People's Party, Sister Ann Natasha II. Political leader of the Tobago People's Party, the Honorable Farley Augustine, Deputy Political Leaders of the Tobago People's Party Assemblymen, Dr. Faye Brebner, Trevor Williamson James, and Natisha Charles Pantin. All of the members of the executive of the Tobago People's Party, secretaries, assistant secretaries, members of Parliament for Tobago East and West, Messrs. David Joseph Thomas and Joel Marcus Sampson. To you, our dedicated, loyal, and ever faithful members, good night to all! Brothers and sisters, we want to recognize tonight all formats and all aspects of the media with us tonight, the social media, the mainstream media, even, brothers and sisters, the electronic media and any other affiliates. Tonight, brothers and sisters, we also want to recognize the Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Brothers and sisters, they have been creating a safe space for our meetings. We appreciate their tour of duty. Tonight, brothers and sisters, you are in the electoral district of Bethesda. Let us go. My name is Lance Ogis. I am one of your hosts for tonight. I'm learning one of my tutors may join me. We will know in a minute. But as we roll on with the program, brothers and sisters, remember, brothers and sisters, remember your symbol is. This, brothers and sisters, welcome to another segment where your candidates report on your behalf as to what they have been doing, what they did, and what they will be doing. This is also where we have the endorsement. Your candidate, brothers and sisters, your current assemblyman is.
You respect.
Let me hear that.
Respect that.
102, and coming to endorse your candidate, brothers and sisters, is from the electoral district of Darrell Spring, Weymouth. Your brothers and sisters, soon to be assemblyman, is coming to endorse your candidate. And tonight, brothers and sisters, welcome Reggae Trophy.
We need a man to deliver, forward the message. The assembly working, the administration strong. But one constituency, the timing feel wrong. The people need action, the people want pace to match the TPP vision in the whole place. Kelvin Morris, you're holding up the plan. The progress is stalled, we need a better man. You barely scraped through the last time by a year. The people them silent, but we know they care. PP family, we stand to.
Bethesda, Coteaux, good night. My TPP family, good night. No, I find all real quiet tonight, boy. We're in Z territory tonight, so I'm starting over. Bethesda, Coteaux, good night. Tobago, good night. That song better? So I stand on all existing protocols. Tonight, my TPP family, I'm here to speak to you all about things that is very important to us. I know I don't have to remind you all, but for those on the other side, I would like to let them know that the governance of this sweet island of Tobago is something to take serious.
You respect that. You respect that.
Our island is too precious for us. It's too precious for our generations to come to be taking it lightly. So I want you all to remember to take the governance of this island and the people who is going to govern this island seriously.
You respect that. You respect that.
These 15 candidates of the TPP is not a makeshift side that is coming here to govern this country. These are proper people, proper educated people, experienced people coming to govern Tobago for you, for our children and for our generations to come. Because as we say, Tobago is we. So I want to remind you of something. The THA, sorry about that. The THA is a body that was created similar to a local government body. This creation of the THA was based on a philosophy called devolution of power. What devolution of power essentially means is bringing governance closer to the people. Because if it is, to be honest, those in parliament does not know what is going on in Tobago. We are the ones that are here to govern and manage the affairs of Tobago people for us and our generations to come. So let me reiterate again. Governance of this sweet island of Tobago is something to be taken seriously. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when we do the comparison to us and we do the comparison to them, when we look at our blueprint and we look at, I can't remember what the name of their thing. I don't want to know neither. We take it seriously. Our blueprint was created with thought. It was created with passion. It was also created by knowing Tobago, knowing what Tobago wants, knowing how we want Tobago to develop, knowing how we want to leave Tobago for our generations to come. That is something that we took seriously when we created our blueprint. As the chief said, we didn't go on ChatGPT and just punch in some things and expect to just throw something out at you. We took our time and came up with a plan that is going to take this island to the greatest little island on the planet. Because that is something we are going to take seriously. My time here tonight is not long, but I just want to touch on one thing. Because walking around my community there of Darrell Spring Whim, I had a slight, I wouldn't say an argument, but I had a discussion with some people. And the discussion was about autonomy for Tobago. And it's then when I realized that over the years, a fear was driven into Tobagonians, making you all think that autonomy is similar to secession, which it's not. Autonomy is just giving us powers for our country to be able to have self-determination. For self-determination. That essentially means giving us power, legislative powers, to be able to do things that is good for us and our generations to come. So when it is you mention autonomy to them, they're jumping on, oh God, we got dead, how we going to lead Trinidad? No, people, that is not what autonomy is. As I said, autonomy is just basically giving the THA the powers to be able to do things for self-determination. So we'll be able to manage Tobago, so Tobago will be a place for you and our kids. As I say, I don't want to stay here long, but other topics jump out at me today. So being an entrepreneur in the Tobago space, I will tell you all, building a business is not something easy. Building a business from the ground up, especially when it was not a business that you inherited, is not easy. And there are things as a businessman, I could sit down here tonight and I will talk for the whole night, and you all understand. Building a business, if you don't have necessary support to help you along the way, you will crash out before you even could understand or enjoy the fruits of that labor. We are here in Bethesda, in Plymouth, sorry, and we are in a multi-purpose facility. Look at all the businesses around you, all of them striving. We at the TPP are saying that is not the only thing that you all need. We will, in our blueprint, there is an outline for grants and loans that will help foster and encourage your business to grow faster. Because I could tell you, building a business with the cash that comes in from the business, you will take forever to reach where it is you want to go. And I could tell you from being a small business person and going to the banks and asking them for money to put into your business, to inject into your business, especially, I don't say I want to use it, I'm not going to use it, but being a young black man out of whim, it was very difficult to get. They just watch you, judge you, and just put you aside. When I look at the blueprint and all the things that was passed on in the blueprint or said in the blueprint, I said, you know what? Yes, this is we. This is what we need. This is what our young entrepreneurs, all the entrepreneurs in this community, everyone who is there working hard, working diligently to grow their business from the ground up.
You respect that. You respect
These things
that.
are the things that will help your business grow. So as I say, governance of your country is not something to take lightly. And you need to put people in place who will ensure that the governance is for you, the people of Tobago, and only you. And you will survive. So, as I say, I won't take long, but tonight we're here in Bethesda, and I would like to big up my friend Zorisha.
You respect that.
My friend Zorisha. And I something, listen, it's not yesterday I know Zorisha, you know. It's years I know Zorisha. Must be over, I don't call it number, we call all our guests we age. But years I know Zorisha, since we was children. And that woman is a strong woman.
You respect that.
I will stand here tonight, proudly tonight, and endorse Zorisha any day. And I will tell you, Zorisha, I have your back any day.
You
Anybody
respect
jump out, I have your back. And I endorse you because watching your growth over the years, Zorisha, you have grown into a woman that everyone can admire.
You
And I will
respect
give you
that.
that credit.
Respect that.
You are one of the women and them who took the education division and turned it into something that Tobago can feel proud of. I said, in the presentation for the blueprint, I sat down and listened to Zorisha talking about the accomplishments of the division of education. And to me, I was like, wow, when she got done, because there was so much I think she was talking about. I will endorse you any day, sweetheart. You are my friend forever. And I endorse you to be the candidate for Bethesda Coteaux. All you know, all you're doing is only one here, not two. And I support and I endorse her tonight. So thank you, Bethesda. God bless. You all have a good day.
PP family, we stand together, we replacing the weak link right now and forever. If we step up, RJ, Ricky Joe feel here the party them say. He born and grown from back hill to the Darrell Spring. Strong family ties the whole area sing.
Thank you, Brother Ricky Joefield. Brothers and sisters, remember, we are in the electoral district of Bethesda Coteaux. But brothers and sisters, mindful, even though the name is Bethesda Coteaux, we are mindful that this electoral district starts in Plymouth, Bethesda, better known as into Coteaux, into Golden Lane, into Mount Thomas, right up into Woodlands. Do we have anybody from that landscape here tonight? Brothers and sisters, as we move on and reminding you that in spite of where you reside on Monday, do not look for the name, look for the symbol of the coming to add his part to the blueprint. Coming to make his contribution at this meeting is a brother on the ground, a brother of the neighboring electoral district, brothers and sisters of when we go across the road, what are we talking about? Plymouth Black Rock, brothers and sisters, your brother, Colonel Alexis, coming to the lectern tonight, adding his piece to the conversation.
And me and the students step up, we vote in TPP. Good Martin is in on to work for all our way. And everybody run and vote for the TPP. We come out, we happy, Cockburn is the best man you see. You will get representation like you never see. Colonel Alexis set this mood like Hennessy.
Good night, good night, good night. Good night, Bethesda Coteaux. Good night, Plymouth people. Good night, Tobago. It is an utmost pleasure to be on this stage tonight to endorse, to support, and to encourage my family, my friend, my old classmate, and soon to be colleague in the Assembly of Tobago, the Tobago House of Assembly, Ms. Zorisha Hackett. Yes, I am a Tobagonian. I'm a Plymouth boy. I am right on the district line between Bethesda and Plymouth. I went to Bethesda Government School. We used to compete a lot against Plymouth Anglican School. And in the front always in Plymouth Anglican School was Zorisha Hackett. Powerful, small, but talawa. Always full of energy, always loved children, and always had a passion to serve her community. Zorisha Hackett has demonstrated that she has what it takes to continue in the leadership position in the Tobago House of Assembly.
You respect that? You respect that?
She has demonstrated that she is a true leader, because even when they come around with their lies and their deceit, she is poised. She is strong, and she's able to demonstrate where the lies is coming from and where she is steadfast in her ways to achieve what she needs to achieve with no problem.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
Ladies and gentlemen, in my district, I have to say thank you to Zorisha. She has started the ECC, the Early Childhood Care Center, down at the Corlan facility there. She's going to build that international grade facility for the children. As I mentioned before, Zorisha was a teacher even before she became a teacher, and she's just exuding all of these qualities still as she moves forward. Zorisha has done something for the people of Golden Lane that they have been clamoring for ages. She came, and within 4 years, she was able to provide that property for them to develop a state-of-the-art sporting facility. Zorisha Hackett was able to get that done within the 4 years. Why change course now? Why allow them to come and fool you about with lies and deceit? The same guys that she have been assisting is the same guys that are trying to bring her down for today. We cannot allow that to happen. We must stand with Zorisha. We must show them that she is not alone. We must show them that we appreciate what she has been doing for our community, and show them that we are not fools. Zorisha, I know you're going to speak a lot tonight about all your achievements and what you're going to do for us. I am proud of you. It is easy for me to endorse you. And Zorisha Hackett, you have my endorsement. I know as a team, you and I will do so much for Plymouth and for Bethesda, for both of our districts. I know as a team, we are going to continue working the Plymouth Blackrock district together. I know as a team, we are going to continue working the Bethesda, Golden Lane, and Coteaux district together. I look forward to walking up from Goat Rock right up the road to Mason Hall together and achieving what we all need to achieve. Bringing home the victory. Bringing home all 15 seats for the Tobago People's Party come January 12th, 2026. Let us all come together. Let us go out early, carry our friends and our family, and give the support for Zorisha and for all other 15 candidates and bring home this blue wave. I thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't take an Alexis for no joke. Black Rock Plymouth, we have some hope. Cause Cause the TPP get we full support. And that's why Colonel Lexica get we vote. And Colonel Alexis not looking back.
Thank you, Brother Colonel Alexis. Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you about a lady who is about to mount this lectern. A lady who started as a teacher. A teacher primarily instructs students in specific subjects like math or history within a structured setting, focusing on curriculum, delivery, and assessment, while an educator is a broader term for someone who fosters overall intellectual, moral, and social growth, inspiring curiosity and developing life skills, often using varied methods beyond just classroom teaching. Brothers and sisters, coming to this lectern tonight is your area representative, more than a teacher, more than an educator, more than a stylist, more brothers and sisters than an area rep, more than a motivator, but it's just only one. Zorisha Hackett.
We say blue, 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 blue. Hey, Zorisha Hackett, God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, man. We say blue, you know. We say rock with the TPP. Anytime you're ready, Zorisha Hackett. Show them your ability in every vicinity, every community. Blue is the code. And we rocking with the we been already going again. And Bethesda know we there for them. Pullali know we there for them. Woodland know that we care for them. See, don't follow, she set the trend. And that is why she gon' rise again. Let me see them flags I again. She gon' get the victory, but rock with the TPP. Anytime you're ready, Zorisha Hackett. Show them your ability in woodland community. Let's get to vicinity. Blue is the code. And we rock it. What the opposition have talk about. If you vote for them, you gon' last out. Zia show the people a new road. Leadership, and then you could talk about him.
Telling every day altruistic reality stories. Once here, never two. Aye. Bethesda chase. Your birthplace. Sleepless nights. Tough days. Woodlands, Golden, and Coteaux. Homes of Adventure, Bethesda. Blue wave. Tobago is we. Blue wave. Aye. Once here, never two, you know. The whole scheme I vote for you, you know. Middle rich to save you, you know. Gold rock, old ground, we never lose, you know. Yeah. Cotton peace, stable peace, you know. Yeah. Mount Thomas, Colorado, take the lead, you know. Yeah. Franklin to Anasville, the guy I try, but to know I fail. Zia lock the keys to the city. Freedom, Pentland, Igbo, Gully. Mount Zion, Trace, Providence Road, Bamboo Hill. Blue stockings, and cut.
Bethesda, good night. Coteaux, good night. Golden Lane, good night. Woodlands, good night. And of course, the homes of Adventure, good night. Zorisha Amina Hackett, aka Zia, is in she hometown tonight. I find all I need to come in front and let us see the authentic crowd. Come front. Come front. Come front. Come front. Give me that intro again, Talia. Come front.
Yes.
Come front, come front.
Altruistic reality stories. Once here, never two. Aye. Bethesda chase, your birthplace, sleepless nights, tough days. Woodlands, Golden Lane, Coteaux, homes of Adventure, Bethesda.
All of them make me cry tonight.
Blue wave, Tobago is we. Blue wave, aye.
One Z and over two.
The whole scheme I vote for you, you know. Middle rich to see view, you know. Go track, old ground, we never lose, you know. Yeah. Cotton piece, table piece, you know. Yeah. Monk Thomas, Colorado, take the lead, you know. Yeah. Franklin to Asvale.
Clyde Hackett, where are you? Clyde Hackett, son of Ika Guy Wellington and Ivan Solo Hackett. And on my mother's side, Bernard Romeo and Idris Joseph, your daughter Julia Ford Hackett. Related to the Romeos, the Guys, the Richardsons, the Fords, the Josephs, the Pauls, of course Hackett, and every other Plymouth Bethesda person in this space tonight. One family, one Plymouth Bethesda, and of course I've been adopted by Coteaux, Golden Lane, and Woodlands as your own.
You respect that? You respect that?
I walked on a stage 5 years ago, down right there next to the primary school I attended, fresh on the political scene. And I brought my heart and soul on that stage. The district was called Plymouth Golden Lane. And after 16 years of the People's National Movement, with my hard hat on, I walked on that stage and I sold you the dream we all have for a better Tobago. And you, at that time, electoral district of Plymouth Golden Lane, put your energy, your soul, your passion, your purpose, and all the dreams you had for us in me. 11 months later, with a district name change, Plymouth saw itself divided into two. Jaggers Hall cut the district in half. Plymouth, Bethesda. But Bethesda, Plymouth is we. And Plymouth, Bethesda is we. And so no boundary can separate us.
You respect that? You respect that?
But the rest of the villages remained intact. Actually, no. Coteaux, you used to be cut in half. Piece of you was with Plymouth Golden Lane. And the other half used to be with Blackrock Wim Spring Garden. Y'all remember that? After the gerrymander the thing sometime in 2005. But in 2021, December, with a reunited Coteaux, and of course, my heart and soul, Golden Lane, and my little piece of Mariah called Woodlands, and the homes of Adventure, we won this seat by almost 600 votes. And it was in the middle of COVID. So a lot of people couldn't get to the polls. But your prayers brought the seat home.
You respect that?
And I remember having to divide myself into 4 that night. Because Big Yard in Golden Lane kept one of the biggest parties to me. The Junction Boys in Coteaux kept one of the biggest parties to me. And we mashed up Plymouth that night, down on the square. That night, because it was COVID, some people tried to go to Roxborough. We split up because there was social distancing. You all remember that? Mask on. But we celebrated that victory. And Tobago, I saw a love and a unity in you that night. And your hopes and aspirations still live on in this team. We no longer wear the black and green. We now dressed in blue. But our heart, your heart still beats the same. And so I have come, not because I wanted to, because you have pushed me to represent you once more. And I want to give account for my stewardship, and you must make that judgment call. Bethesda, Coteaux, Golden Lane, Woodlands. because I am only your humble servant. Bethesda Coteaux, if I was not a good financial manager, I would have been a pauper from politics. Let me say it again. If I didn't understand financial management, I would have been a pauper from politics.
You respect that? You respect
Because if you did not give me a job, I would have no money in the first place. So my salary, this job, belongs to you. And so, when I walked out of that screening, after the committee more or less put me on trial, and I spoke to what I saw as my accomplishments, but also as the challenges I experienced as area representative. I asked how anybody could do this if they didn't love it. You have to love this. People see your heart. You can't fake this. And so if you know you're not cut out for this, leave this work alone.
You respect that? You respect that?
If you know people chaining you up to run the seat, leave this work alone. It's frustrating. There are plenty nights you don't sleep. Your children grow up without you. Julia Hackett, thank you for having Zahara Chloe at your side. Yvette Carew, thank you for having Zari Rain at your side. You are growing up my children for me because this district depends on me.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
And so one of the things I learned very early was that you had to give your all in this thing called politics. All or nothing. And so every month, I would sacrifice a third of my salary and live within the means I lived as a teacher. I am living in the same house I lived in before I became a politician. And yes, I purchased that house before I became a politician. I am driving the same car. It's 10 years old. Yes, it does look good because my daddy does clean it for me. But it is 10 years old. And I told myself I'm going to sacrifice. Yes, I like nice things, but I know to sacrifice. Because my district depends on me. And so for every single need you had that I was unable to fill through the THA, I filled it out of my own pockets. And let me tell you something. When you do well in this thing, all kind of people just want to sponsor you. All people come into you. But they come in with small thing and want big thing in return. They come in with small thing and want big thing in return. But nobody could have me as a puppet on a string. None. I belong to the people. All 3,570 something of you voters and not a few guys in a room. And if they vex, they lost. If they vex, they lost. My mother didn't finish high school when she had me. I know about hard times. Anybody who know how I born and raised, know 3 of my grandparents from Plymouth. All from Bethesda. All. And so my childhood was spent in 2 homes. Bolt House and Idris Joseph House upstairs where Paul lived there now. All you know that. And so when people walk in this village and talking about I just must see when primary school here, all you know I put on maroon and white and catch bus from this village. All you know play, all you don't remember. And so although I no longer live here, my navel string buried under a sapodilla tree in the gully in Bethesda. And so Romeos, you all know of every discipline I got. Every sending tongue by myself as a little girl. Every you go and make the fry bake while I braid the hair from me mommy. Every bring something for me to drink while I'm outside planting these plants from me daddy. And y'all know the sacrifices we made as a family. So don't play all you don't know. I don't like when people trying to rewrite my story. And people must feel good when they see one of their own doing better for themselves. Because that means when I rise, you rise too.
You respect that.
Don't fight it. Plymouth should be proud of me because I am proud of you. I am from you.
You respect that?
And so, as I said before, when I realized how this governance thing does work, and it's 14 of us, and the thing had to split up all how. And because we said, let we fix this, we were so over passionate. We run in full speed because you were so disappointed in the type of governance you got from those red people that you're running in this thing, trying to work all kind of magic and miracle to make sure that at the end of the 4 years, your people could say, well done. But we have to be realistic. And even I, who am an overachiever, have to tell myself sometimes you can't do it all. Depend on your district and empower them in a particular way. So sometimes you could take a back seat and just watch the thing happen. And so as I was telling you, I set about to do something more than build drains and roads and buildings. I wanted to build the minds of my people because I'm a teacher first. And so if you remember in that COVID period, I started an online class, 16 different subject areas for secondary school students to ensure that my Plymouth, Bethesda, Coteaux, Golden Lane, Woodlands at that time, before they cut up the district in half, had the opportunity to get a solid education in that COVID period, free of charge. Parents, if your children came to my house or logged in, because I pulled Tobago teachers together to educate them in that period. Tell them you know what you're talking about. And when the district changed, and I looked at how many of my young people were sitting on the blocks, just wanting a morning walk. And nothing is wrong with you trying to elevate yourself and looking for some stability in employment. But I wanted more for you. And so I quickly looked at the talent we had in this district. And I sat with my staff and I said, you know what? Let us build out a skills training program for young people. 3 years running. Most of the talent, about 90%, came from this district and continues to come from this district. And so again, yes, it is your government's responsibility to build a drain and fix a road and put a wall. But you know what governments hardly do? Build their people. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted you to look back and say, yes, we get a road fixed or not. We get a drain built or not, because Rome was not built in a day. But you must walk away saying, I am a better person because my area representative understands empowerment, understands the value of an education, and what it means for you to build you. And so as I said before, for every need you had as a district that was not met, I made up for it through an initiative. Several of them, too many to count. And you have people walking this district with the deceitful self, saying you did nothing. Everything is not tangible. You can't see and touch and smell and taste everything. Some things you have to feel. Some things you have to feel. And so if governance is who could fix the biggest wall and drain, then I probably have failed at it. But if governance is ensuring that you meet a people and make them better off than how you met them, then I've passed with full colors.
You respect that?
I have. Bethesda, Coteaux, Golden Lane, Woodlands, and the homes of Adventia. We are blessed. As an area representative, there are 3 heritage festivals that occur in my district. The Plymouth Bethesda Old Time Carnival, and we must sit and revisit it because that is potential that is not being managed well. And I want us to sit back, go back to the drawing board, and when we say Old Time Carnival, that is what it should be. Can we have work to do? Coteaux, folklore and superstition. And Golden Lane, under this area representative, you got back your courtship codes. Yes, it was there.
You respect that?
Languishing. And you, for the second year in a row, and Golden Lane, put your hands together because you didn't give up. And now you've returned with full force. But with the number of initiatives and the amount of talent, I want to get to a place where you, the district, come to me and spearhead some of the things where I can just be the silent partner. It's not always good for the area rep to be up front. District, you have too much going for you, where you have to depend on me. Let me be your guide on the side. Let me be the wind beneath your wings. And let us build out the best district. A district that you find has been neglected since Hochoy Charles. Because we had one area representative who served for 3 terms. You could count on one hand what he did. And whatever he did is a few benefited from it. A lie? And then you had another. And she hurts my soul when I think about how they did her dirty. And I told her the night I won, all her unfinished dreams and goals in this district would be accomplished through me. Good night, Zorisha Osman. I love you. She encouraged me to be a teacher. And so when she was sidelined by her political party, I ensured that with dignity and grace, she returned to the noble profession of teaching. But I saw PNM the street they own. PNM use you, abuse you, and then discard you. Tobago, I want you to understand, and I said it before, Rome was not built in a day. I came in this thing energetic, enthusiastic, vibrant. Let us rejuvenate the Coteaux, rather the Annersville water wheel. Y'all remember? Let us look for all the artifacts covered in bush because of the plantations we have there and poor management and maintenance. We have a hidden gem there in the bush. Let us push our culture beyond the Heritage Festival. A cruise ship should be able to come in here any day of the week and get a taste of either the old-time carnival, the folklore and superstitions, or the courtship codes any day. Why save it for one time a year? And let us educate you as a people. And I realized that for a particular political organization, development is who build the biggest building. But if you're not building capacity while you're building buildings, you are not building Tobago. You're not. Because every building that was built, we had to come and refurbish, recommission, something the building. And they vexed with that, but if you didn't build it properly in the first place, we were not to come to her to fix it. PNM not and we told you we were coming to fix it, so why are vexed when we actually fixing it? But one of the achievements of this administration is the fact that we understood that we had to build our people, and build our people we have started to do. 4 years is not a long time, Tobago. We opened up our borders in about April or May of 2022 after coming into governance in 2021. You all remember that? You remember when we couldn't bathe in sea? I want all to remember, you know. All of my first year in office photos have a mask over my face. All. And so we really started the governance thing in the late part of 2022. And right at that time, we took off black and we were wearing nothing. So when I went to the house, all I was Zorisha Hackett, area representative of Bethesda Coteaux. Not a political party attached to me. 13 of us. Y'all remember that? They call we jellyfish. They call we Farley and friends. All remember? And it is you, Tobago, that said, nah, an election can't meet with scatter so. All you call us to account. Shaw Park evening. We sit down and we plan color. We back and forth. Who done the color ready? We could not decide on it. We sit down and we try to up and down, conceptualize symbol. All you remember that? So we didn't go in any little room by ourselves and build out an organization. No. You, the people of Tobago. And that is why the name Tobago Peoples. Apostrophe S shows possession. It's not anybody else on, it's not part of Spain on. And a Siparia on. Tobago People's Party. And so this party pushed us to get ourselves into a political vehicle. And our able driver, Farley Augustine, take up the steering wheel and drive that vehicle from 2023 straight into a 2025 general election.
You respect that?
With Tobago in the east and Nazi in the west. Give them a cocktail that didn't see coming. The party wasn't even 2 years old and it beat a 69-year-old giant. And so age is just a number.
You respect that?
It's what you do with your time that matter. And I want to let you Tobagonians know, don't let nobody mama you. Put Tobago first again, me foot. Tobago deserves better, me foot. Charity begins at home, me foot. I want to say something else, but you have to be diplomatic. So with decent tonight, you can serve for 21 years as see. This is not about potential anymore, this is about habit. So if for 5 terms you didn't get it right, give you a next term go do one. But they say you never miss the well until you never miss the water until so you're outside looking in and suddenly you're thirsty. You're thirsty. So who not cut out for area rep? They just jump in. Because the real ones who want to control the thing, holding up the string. Who just must go and make some live and cook some food, jump in the thing. And you're just seeing all different people and nothing is wrong with that. A Tobagonian can dream. But I want you to check their heart. Who just wake up a day and start to do thing. You just wake up suddenly and I feel to run for politics, yes? Let me go and try football. I feel to run for politics, yes? Let me suddenly start to show up in some school and talk to young people. I feel to run for politics, yes? Let me go and sit down in a front pew in a church. People judge you by who you are. Don't go and archive no photo and video and try to baptize yourself and come anew. Tobago is too small for that. And so when we decided, and what I love about it, even before we won that election, that 6-6 I'm talking about, not even the 14-1, our chief secretary started with a coined phrase, and he ended every single meeting with it. Let us build out the dream of making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. And I started to say, you know, this thing catchy. And he so strategically started in a subliminal way, giving us the hopes and aspirations of people since APT James and Bigat and Murray and Robinson. The greatest little, so we're little enough, but we want to be great at the same time. You're great, although you're little. And if you all only understand the power of a term like that, how does it make you feel when you say Tobago? Not to soar, not to fly high, not to do big things. And so quickly, that greatest little island on the planet slogan became almost Tobago's motto. We started putting it up. You know, I like nice thing. I cover a whole bus in education in the slogan. Because I find the thing must be sold. And through this slogan, this motto, this mantra, every single policy decision we started making as an executive council, that was the underlying thesis. To make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet.
You respect that? You respect that?
And so when that blueprint was launched last week,
And although they were done through sectors, and I saw how my district could benefit from it, I said, we are going in a direction Tobago has never gone before. And when Trevor James and I stood on that stage, I said, James, you just don't talk slow already. James then narrowed down the thing to 9 or 10 per division. James, in about a 15 minutes, if you let me keep up the tempo. And we spent almost an hour and a half up there thirsty. I start to wonder if I eat for the day, what day of the week it is, if I don't walk Ibogoli yet. We up there long. But Tobago, that wasn't even the half of it. And again, if you're counting buildings and roads and drains alone as governance, then you don't truly understand what it means to build the greatest little island on the planet. It's more than that. It means that you can self-actualize just like a little boy from Lucivale Speyside who said, Orville are coming for your work. And I am certain when he said that, people laugh. As a matter of fact, when you look at the clip, you see all little snickering in the corner. Cute little Tracy and she, Golden Era, the Claudia. You know, they must be saying, this little one in this big suit pants, big like what wrong in him? What? But you see, when you speak things into existence, you see, when you believe in the Most High, nobody, no weapon shall prosper. None. You don't pelt a barren mango tree. Since me know myself, stone like that, and that toughens you. All you know, water does run off that sheen leaf. Just so. And I don't know if feel like it could break me. It's me. It's me. What then says what I forget to say, but guess what? You want to see me in beast mode? You want to see me in beast mode? Do exactly what you're doing. Do exactly what you're doing. Bethesda, Coteaux, Golden Lane, Woodlands, and the homes of Adventia. You have somebody with heart. This is not a robot battery dolly thing. This is pure passion and purpose. We're not perfect. Nobody is. 2 years old as an official political organization. You can't get perfection. If them 69 going on 70 and imperfect yet, who is we? But I want you to see potential, not perfection, potential. And if under all the restraints, constraints, and every other obstacle, we have persevered, you Tobagonians, on the 12th of January, when you're looking at that ballot paper, you know what you're looking at? Habit or potential? I see something for 5 terms. So I kind of done learn it already. I see something for 1 term. They're not perfect, you know. Oh God, they make some mistakes. They should have done this so. I wish that they do that so. But guess what, Tobago? We listen to you. We just listen to you. Sometimes out of embarrassment, but we do. And you see, my political leader who was called for such a time like this, leading this team with you understanding that a powerful slogan like this and understanding the collectivity of this effort, Tobago, we will not fail. Tobago, put your hands together because I said we wouldn't fail. As we in Bethesda, let me address it. I walked Goat Rock for 4 years, pressuring Trevor James to pave over. Well, I have a list of 22 streets I pressure him for, but I prioritize them, I rank them. I like to rank things. I wouldn't tell you where Goat Rock was in any rank, but it was high up. And I stress out Trevor. Sometimes I call him, oh God, Secretary Hackett. One hour, I say I come to stress you out. Because I now walk through Goat Rock again, and it ain't pave. Yet. And Secretary James keep telling me, contractor get paid to pave Coteaux 3-point-something million, and I'm saying, Trevor, you lie. When I say pay, you mean give a contract to do the work. Secretary Hackett paid in full. So because the thing was being audited and sub judice, you couldn't talk everything. Right? All you know when the thing in the court, you can't talk everything. And I started to stress out James about 2 weeks ago. I said, James, I want to be able to tell people who, what, and why. Call a contractor name for me. And when James showed me who the contractor was, and then I look and see who got the sub-contract. And then I look and see who get the sub-contract. And then I see a pattern of wall and drain and road billing with money going in pocket, but they're not actually there. And I add the maths up. And I see people just jump in the political thing. I say, right. So, is you come in the front, I stay in the back, you give me a contract, I give you a kickback to run your election. And that gonna be the thing. But we come and mash up the party in December 6th, 2021.
You respect that?
So they're outside for 4 years and reloaded news and news before news and news source and everybody else. With everything I talk, make sure and highlight the empowerment part. All I like too much bacchanal. All I don't do that. Notwithstanding, when I add up the maths, I realize why they're so thirsty to get back in. The well drying up. The money in anymore. But Bethesda, Coteaux, Golden Lane, the kind of money I hear they're going and put down, they must start to put it down from yesterday in this district to win this seat. Let me tell you something. The only entity I fear is the Most High. The only entity I fear is the Most High. And the only people I serve is my electoral district. No, 2 and 3 and 4 in a room. And so, from us acquiring that Culloden estate, and yes, many a politician have promised you a recreation ground. I didn't promise it. I listen. And I say, you know what? I want to be the one to build it. I shouldn't promise it, but I must be the one to build it. And although it took us 4 years to get that acquisition sorted, it is officially the property of the Tobago House of Assembly. And Golden Lane, take time, no lazy. Sometimes you feel as if you're sidelined and neglected, but you will become the envy of this side of Tobago when your recreation ground is finally delivered to you. And I don't want any other part of the district being envious of Golden Lane. They deserve it. You talk about talent from that village, and they're very humble. They don't ask for much up there. So we should be glad when it happened. Coteaux, I sat with you, and I told you, based on my data collection, you have 2 collective needs. Your recreation ground with your pavilion and your dilapidated court, and your community center. And I asked you to choose. Because again, Rome was not built in a day, and I don't like to make promises I can't keep. And you chose your community center. Coteaux lie. And I said to you, we can't demolish it. The foundation is solid. It's one of the oldest community centers in Tobago. The land is small, so we can't spread it out too much. And because of the structure, we can't go up with it. Where Rat is tonight, Rat, big up your whole self, because you were able to deliver quality infrastructural upgrades to that community center. Born and grown here in Bethesda and delivered to Coteaux, one of the most aesthetically pleasing community centers on the island. Coteaux, put your hands together. And what I like about Coteaux people, all are humble. We know the recreation ground is not the official size, so we can have TFA games played there. We know the court, and because the space is on the outskirts of a village, you know when a space on the outskirts, oh God, to go quite wrong there. And that is one of the things that's a disadvantage when it's not in the heart of your community. Notwithstanding, we agreed we're going to put the community center in front of the recreation space. And last week, I had a conversation with Secretary Clark and my chief secretary. I said, hey, although come and try to refurbish no pavilion there, we're pushing it down and building it over. We have to let it all. And so you see, when I have conversations with my residents, although try to come and get in between, mind all the business. I had a conversation, more than one consultation with my residents. Bethesda, because you share facilities with Plymouth, you didn't ask for recreation ground or health center. You already had another community center. What you asked for was improvements of your roads and your drainage. A lot of you had challenges with your homes. You needed upgrades. You needed some grants to make your lives easier. And a lot of what my district benefited from wasn't publicized. I wouldn't walk around and say, look, I give so-and-so at this and so-and-so at that. And a true representative knows what he or she does. And if you do it with love, you don't have to publicize it. But a lot of the people you see biting the hands that feed them, God got deal with you because you don't like ugly. And so, I am confident that you have seen my heart. And for every single incomplete or unrealized project, you see the potential of this political organization. Without the resistance and disruptions from those over the waters, and with an increase in budget. And here what I love about my chief secretary. If it was another political party with a budget like that, it would have done spend out by the time we come back here in January. You know what the chief secretary did? As soon as that house dissolved, Secretary Robert Sissier, Petalan, ask her, we started governing with restraint. You know what that means? You put down the money till you win and come back again. You put down the money till you win and you come back again. And Tobago, let me let you all know the kind of dreams we can realize together. Not by ourselves, you know, together. If you only know what's waiting over the 12th for you, Tobago. And they say promises are comfort to a fool, so I am not promising you. But I want you to look at where we were, where we're going, and see the potential of this political organization that you built with us. You built it with us. We didn't go in no dark room and register no symbol. If you ask me who registered this anchor as a symbol, I don't know. Somebody, some humble person in the party went and did it. So it's not Farley owned the symbol. And at any moment, if you want, you can call your executive to account. It's one of the only organizations you can ask for their constitution, our constitution, and see it. Because you helped us to build it. And so Tobago, Bethesda, Coteaux, I want y'all to look at where we were and where we could go together. This is my humble plea. And so next week, Monday, like now, oh gosh, I want somebody to tell me the time. Next week, Monday, like now. Somebody tell me the time. Next week, Monday, like now. We should be gathering on the Esplanade. Because Farley Augustine would have already won in Palataville and Summit Speyside. Because Orlando Kerr would have already won in Roxborough, Argyle. Because Dr. Faith Brebner would have already won in Belgarden, Glamorgan. Because my darling Megan Morrison would have already won in Mount St. George Goodwood.
You respect that?
Because Natisha Charles Panten would have already won in Mason Hall Salt Bagatelle. Because Ian Whitey Pollard would have already won in Mason Hall North Mariah. Because Ricky Jofield would have already won in Darrell Spring Wim. Because Kern Alexis would have already won in Plymouth Black Rock. Because Darren Henry would have already won in Bethel Newgrange. Oh gosh, because Keegan Dinoon would have already won in Bucko, Mount Pleasant. Because Nigel Mighty Man Tet would have already won up on the Dual Hills, Signal Hill, Patience Hill. Because Wayne Wasp Clark would have already won in Lambert Lowlands.
You respect that? You respect
because Percy Show Them No Mercy would have already won in Bonaccord, Crown Point. And because your humble servant, born and raised in Bethesda Trace, your teacher since she born, your Barry Giol, Clyde and Julia daughter, Ika Idris Bolt and Solo granddaughter, relatives of the Richardsons, the Romeos, the Guys, the Fords, the Hacketts, the Joseph, would have already brought for the third time in a row. We're calling it a hat trick. A hat trick by Hackett. A hat trick by Hackett. Bethesda, Lekito, Homes of Adventure, Golden Lane, Woodlands. Here is your next area representative. By Monday, the 12th January, we leave in Woodlands and we coming down to Golden Lane. Leaving Golden Lane and we coming down to Lekito. Leaving Lekito and we coming down to Bethesda. We picking up some by the Homes of Adventure. And we in Scarborough out and bad with the Blue Wave to celebrate a TPP victory. Talia, play me song.
And we say blue, 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 blue. Hey, Zorisha Hackett, God bless you.
TPP family, good night. I love you. Thank you.
How we say rock with the TPP. Anytime you ready, Zorisha Hackett. Show them your ability in every vicinity, every
Only one.
And we rock.
Brothers and sisters, amongst all the talent in the Tobago People's Party, and there is only one leader. One leader, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Sister Zorisha. Brothers and sisters, leading all your soldiers into battle is this fella from the youth, from a youth very sure as to what his ambitions will be, and realizing it in this season is your political leader. Welcome to the lectern tonight, the Honorable Farley Augustine.
I'm holding on in order to stay around in a life therapy imbalance. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing strong cause I realize the price little one must pay.
Bethesda, good night. Plymouth Posse, good night. Tobago People's Party, good night. Yes, we outside. We almost there. We are almost there. Just a few days to go before we could completely and utterly disseminate, destroy, disintegrate the opponents. That's right, nothing for them come January 12, 2026. Tonight we are here endorsing the candidacy of Zorisha Amina Hackett. Let's hear it for Miss Hackett. Come on, let's hear it for Miss Hackett. And tonight, somewhere in the crowd, we have our chairman, Ms. Second. We see the MPs for Tobago East and West. And, you know, we are in a good place, Tobago People's Party. We are in a good place. But I don't want us in this very good place to throw caution to the wind and to allow those who don't mean well for Tobago to get in charge of this place. Bethesda people, Tobago people, who are we voting for? Who are we voting for? Are we voting for TPP because Tobago is? Tobago is? Tobago is? Tonight, I heard Ms. Hackett spoke to you about how we encapsulated our governance into this catchphrase, the greatest little island on the planet. And I want to share with you 12 little things about the greatest little island in the planet. Because very often for us in Tobago, we don't appreciate how beautiful we are, how talented we are, and how as a small island, we have the potential to be the greatest in the world. We have the potential to be greater than any other small island in the world. But it requires that all of us who call ourselves Tobago and Tobagonians, that we put in the work in building out this island. We built over the last 4 years, sincerely. We worked hard, we worked long hours, and we put ourselves at the front of the line for you every single day for the last 4 years. And that's why we are confident in this election. We are confident in this election that the people of Tobago will leave their homes from 6 a.m. on Monday, the 12th of January, 2026, to deliver to us and the Tobago People's Party the most comprehensive victory ever seen in Tobago. The most was 12. But come this election, that record will be broken because it's no longer 12. It shall be 15 seats all the way from Palatovere in the north, come all the way around to Charlottesville, to Speyside, all the way down to Crown Point in the southwest. All 15 seats for the Tobago People's Party. And so, when we tell you about building out the greatest little island on the planet, the first thing we are telling you is that we are building an island where the per capita income and standard of living must surpass those of other small island territories. And that's why I spoke to you in Bonaccord about how you could get involved, about how we should build out small businesses, micro and small enterprises, how we ought to ensure we support the growth of Tobago industries, why we form the Tobago Development Fund or bank to support you. Because at the end of the day, if we want to have the greatest little island on the planet, we must have an island that has the best or a per capita income that surpasses those of other small islands on the planet. The second thing is, if we want the greatest little island on the planet, we must have a highly educated and innovative population. You listen to Ms. Hackett, you listened to Teacher Hackett a while ago. We have to get serious about education on this island. We have to ensure that our people, our young people, are not just educated, but they are educated to the point that they can compete. They can compete with their peers around the world. I want to be confident that when they put up a Tobago child against a child from China or Singapore or United States or Europe, that the Tobago child must be head and shoulders above all other little children. They must be able to compete. And that means when we invest in our schools and we spend big money in fixing up our schools and we treat our teachers well and we talk about how we are going to provide for our primary school teachers, and I've seen some here, provide for our primary school teachers some time off to ensure they have professional training that they're able to do outside of the classroom time. They have some non-contact hours to sit and to plan properly so they don't have to go home and make the children at home suffer for the children in school. It's because we want to have a highly educated and innovative population. That's how you build the greatest city island. The second thing is you build the greatest city island by having a technologically driven, innovative, productive, and resilient and competitive economy. Our economy must be able to compete. And that's why I told you in Lambo, we can't keep building the Tobago economy based on money we get from Trinidad. We have to build the Tobago economy based on money we can generate right here in Tobago. So we have to develop industries that can bring capital to the island. Right now we are driving our entire development based on subventions from the national purse. And don't get me wrong, we deserve every cent we get from the national purse and from the national budget. But we have to grow the economy outside of that. We cannot drive the economy based on that. And that's why this government invested in ensuring that we have access to telecoms and have redundancy in our system so we could have data centers, so we could drive, technologically speaking, our businesses to make them much more competitive. To have the greatest city island on the planet, we must have an efficient and effective public service. That's why we talk about modernization of the public service. That's why I spoke to you about us getting rid of all of those paper, and going digital in our operations, timeliness in our response. That's why our blueprint spoke to the fact that we want to reduce the wait time on responses from the government by 50% within the next 4 years. An efficient and modern public service is required. We must have a modern, scientific, and efficient healthcare. I also spoke to you about that. If we want the greatest city island on the planet, you can't go to the hospital and sit down and wait 2 days to get seen. You must go to the hospital and get attention within half an hour to an hour period. That is the goal. That is the objective. And to achieve that, we have to retrain our public health officers. We have to give them additional support. We have to ensure we have the right amount of staff and the right staff placed in the right places. We have to ensure that our community health is maximized, because if our community health is maximized, people won't need to go to the hospital for minor issues. It's why we spoke about telemedicine and carrying medicine and medical attention online so that you will get attention much faster. If we want the greatest little island on the planet, then we must also have constitutional autonomy. And that's something we're not joking about. That is a must. Until we get constitutional autonomy, all the other things we're talking about won't make sense. And that's why, Bethesda, when we call on you to stand with us and to fight with us for constitutional autonomy, I don't want to see you back down. I don't want to see you refuse to actually stand up and stand in front with us. I remember one time when the boat wasn't working, all the way back in about 2017, 2018, before we had a swim, We say we go in James Park and protest. When I look around, I see more sheep than people. Thank God, the man with the sheep and the men with the sheep and goat van come up there because they couldn't get the sheep and goat to go down Trinidad. So we have to hold the sheep and goat them inside James Park to protest. I want to say to you, Tobagonians, we have a habit of wanting something and not standing up for what we want. I want, as a leader of this island, that when I look behind me after the 12th of January, I must see you standing there along with members of the executive to stand up for constitutional autonomy for the island of Tobago. You should not be found wanting. You have to stand for it. Because if we want the greatest island on the planet, that must be one of the criteria. If we want the greatest island on the planet, then every Tobagonian must have the opportunity to self-actualize. You have heard my story. You have heard the story of Miss Hackett, who born and raised right up there in Coteaux. And you look at the story of people like Wayne Clark. Who would have thought that Wayne would have become a secretary? Who would have thought that a man cut last in the road and cleaning drains, doing a morning walk, could rise to the ranks of being a secretary? That is because this is a Tobago where every single citizen, regardless of how you start, have an opportunity to finish this race well and finish this race at the very top. You must be able to self-actualize, live out your dreams here on the island of Tobago. To have the greatest island on the planet, then we must ensure we have protection and caring, and we must care for the most vulnerable among us. And if we're talking about the most vulnerable among us, then we have to talk about the elderly. We have to talk about the little children. We have to talk about those who have special needs and what we are doing for special needs education on the island. We are leading from in front. That is why this campaign is the first and only campaign in the history of politics in Tobago that has a sign language option there for those who are deaf, so that they can hear the messages night after night. If the other party was so concerned about Tobago, if they really wanted to compete, why they don't do that and beat me? Why they don't try it as well? They ain't copying nothing that good at all, because they mean no good for the island of Tobago. We have to take care of the most vulnerable. We have to take better care of the elderly. It's not enough to just chuck them in a home and turn our backs. We have to ensure that they are fed, they are taken care of, they are treated well. You can judge a society by how we take care of the most vulnerable among us. And if we want to be the greatest island on the planet, we have to take care of the vulnerable among us. It is also why we said that there is a new minimum living wage for Tobagonians, that under the TPP, no teacher employee should make less than 5,500 a month.
You respect that?
Because the most vulnerable must be taken care of. It is why we talk about having nursery care, community nursery care programs. So the days when you're trying to leave your child by any old body because you have to work, that must be a thing of the past. We must have we must have responsible care for our very, very young, because they are vulnerable and they are at risk. If we want to have the greatest island on the planet, then we must have an island where our people, our population are united, where we are peaceful, where we are safe, and where we are secure. We ended last year with 10 murders. That is 10 too many. We went down from 24 to 10, and I'm saying in this year, 2026, we must go down to 0 in this year. We must ensure we work to minimize violence on the island. And that's one of the things that we have to pay attention to. We have to pay attention to those who hate law and order. You see, they're talking all kind of thing. Every minute they're talking radar. And I have to ask myself, what they're really fearful of? as a leader of this island, I will never willingly support anything that will put the island of Tobago in danger.
You respect that?
And if there are measures in place to ensure our peace, our safety, and our security, then why not embrace it? I have spoken to you before about the problem with our porous borders. I have spoken to you before about how people coming on island, put on robberies and going away by sea. I've spoken to you before about how we're supposed to have 2 raiders on the island, yet a whole big boat could capsize, oil wash ashore, and nobody else see it. I have spoken to you before about how we have had the youngsters from here use fishing boat and go carry a coup and rob bank and get locked up in Barbados to transporting drugs. If we want the greatest little island on the planet, then we have to want a peaceful, safe, and secure population. People must be free to leave their house door open again. You should not need burglar proofing, because the greatest little island on the planet cannot be a violent society. It cannot be a society where people are afraid to venture out in the night, where people are afraid to use public parks, where our visitors are afraid to come here. We have to ensure we maintain a peaceful, a safe, and a secure society.
You respect that?
If we want the greatest little island on the planet, then we must have green and modern, state-of-the-art public infrastructure. And I want to pause here for a bit, because plenty of you here does travel. Plenty of you here does watch TV and does wonder when my Tobago could get some of these things. We cannot develop a society when all we build is drain, box drain, and retaining wall and patch holes. That is not how we develop a society. Where are the real freeways and highways? Where are the modern buildings to house our public servants? Where are the shopping plazas? Where is the development in the private sector? And somebody asks, where is the zip line? We should have done get one long time. I say them people are no shame. They pay for a zip line that we never see. But they're going up the fort. They're going to the fort in town to talk about they're going and do a next kind of zip line, some kind of line over Scarborough. You couldn't give me a zip line, a simple zip line. You spend out the money for it and we never see the zip line. But you're not promising us another kind of zip line. We will not trust the PNM with nothing called a zip line, nothing that look like a zip line. If a zip line had to be built in Tobago, it's only the Tobago People's Party could successfully produce that for the people of Tobago. But we need green and modern public infrastructure. We must have open, transparent, and accountable and an inclusive government. And Ms. Hackett spoke to it. Which other THA you know that you could be publicly critical of the government and they still treat you good? If Orville was chief secretary, that gave some good Tobago bad mind every time you bad talk him. If them others were here, they would have cut you off and cut you down. And I hear a recently disposed politician talking about who petty and who vindictive. And I said, pettiness is knowing that we're supposed to get a grant in the hundreds of thousands of US dollars and they refuse to give Tobago because Tobago didn't vote PNM. Petty is refusing to give us town and country planning because we didn't vote PNM. Petty is refusing to give us budgetary increase. Petty is holding back with money and not giving it to us on time. Petty is refusing to take care of national security on the island to the extent that our murders run up to 24. Petty is refusing to give us the export license for Stolly Park after we apply a long time. So let them talk about petty. The definition for petty is the PNM. The color for petty is red, but the color for true and caring and kindness and honesty and transparency is blue, 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 and the Tobago People's Party. We don't have time to be petty here. We take care of everybody. We take care of everybody to the extent that I have supporters standing here in the crowd who does meet me and complain and say, look, all they gain work to people who ain't even vote for you. All they fixing road for people who ain't vote for you. But you see, this Tobago People's Party is a party for all Tobago people, whether they're blue, black, or red. Because at the end of the day, Tobago is we. Tobago is all of we. And we are the Tobago People's Party, the only political institution that respects all people in Tobago. So let me talk petty. Let's not talk petty. We are first we so nice. They get contract and all under this government because of open and transparent procurement system. And let me tell you how open and transparent the procurement system is. One of their own people went to the OPR to question how they did not get a contract. When OPR looked at it, OPR said nothing is wrong with the process. The process was open, it was fair, it was transparent, because we practiced that throughout the days when a man could just pick up the phone and call a chief sec and just get contract here, contract there. Them days done. You are tendering in an open process that will allow even smaller contractors to get a blind and to get a chance. It are no friend in that. It's about everybody having an equal chance and equal opportunity. Because that's how we create the greatest little island on the planet. And finally, if we have to have the greatest little island on the planet, we also have to have one where we manage this thing called food security. And I want to stick there for a bit, because every time it looks as though a boat and sailing, bad weather, cruise ship in port, boat can't come, cargo boat going, people start to question and wonder where we go eat, whether food will come, where the supermarket will get stuff. And I'm saying, Tobago, how can we create the greatest little island on the planet when we are so dependent on our everyday sustenance coming from another place? That cannot be the securest way to secure our population. It can't be the best way. It means that we have to also go back to the land. It means that you have a piece of space in the backyard. You have to chuck something, because if you ain't chuck, you can't look. It means that we have to stop allowing all the breadfruit and them to drop off the tree, all the mango them to drop off and waste, all the fruits to drop off and waste. We have to systematically organize ourselves to take care of what we produce. And that is why right now up in Louisville, we have $1 million contract going on there, where we are fixing up a place for agro-processors. And what we are doing is that we will have a venue that meets all international standards, ISO standards for export, that when you as a agro-processor want to produce your goods, you just book an appointment, go into the venue, and you will get all the commercial grade equipment there available to you. And you could go there, make your ice cream, clean up, and go away. Go there, make your seasoning, clean up, and go away. And allow for other agro-processors to get access to the facility. That way, we're not all trying to mass produce in our home kitchens, and we can't meet the demand of the market. We are now pushing you to the next level. And on top of that, we are insisting that we get the kind of laboratory services on island that we can have food testing done. Because right now, you're trying to carry a thing down to Trinidad by carrier to get testing. But if you have to make ice cream, we're carrying the ice cream to get tested before you go on supermarket shelf. Quite Trinidad. You're trying to mass produce for both the national and international market. You have to go down to Trinidad to get the testing done. And I am saying we have to have those services on island, because food security must be important to us.
You respect that?
And while I'm talking about food security, I want to share with you before I end a letter tonight that was written to me today by the Honorable Minister Jerlyn John concerning the cargo boat. Because I spoke about this in Goodwood. Because you see, they are running a campaign based on fear. We are running a campaign based on hope. They are running a campaign based on allegations. We are running a campaign based on aspiration. They are running a campaign based on fiction. We are running a campaign based on facts. They are running a campaign based on commerce and cascas and bacchanal. We are running a campaign based on Tobago is we, and Tobago being for all are we. And so they try and have been trying to drive fear about cargo boat and how cargo boat gone. And when cargo boat gone, nobody ain't gonna get chance. And I came out and I said that very night, because they see they have the paid bloggers and the paid bloggers from Trinidad. And I want to say to all the paid bloggers from Trinidad, we don't care what you say. No Trini blogger will determine how we vote. Tobagonians are smart enough. We don't need your influence. Keep your influence down there for love until I'm beat them. But this is Tobago, and Tobago for Tobagonians. We will decide for ourselves. Keep your stinking opinion to yourself. We don't care about your opinion. So they could pay all the bloggers they want in Trinidad. We don't care about your opinion. They could bring up First and them and sit at a meeting somewhere. It's only Trini sit down in the audience. When they look here, you don't have a single Trinidadian in this audience. This is an authentic Tobago audience, an indigenous Tobago audience. You walk and come here from wrong Bethesda. You drive and come here from wrong Black Rock. But we are not nobody here that had to fly up here to make we meeting look like he had numbers. These are authentic Tobago crowd. So as I told you, I want to read a letter for you. I want to read a letter verbatim for you. Because this letter addressed to the Honorable Farley Augustine, Chief Secretary, and dated the 5th of January, 2026. And this is what the letter says. It says, I write to advise that arrangements have been finalized to ensure the seamless continuation of the inter-island cargo and passenger ferry service following the expiry of the lease of the MV Carbo Star. In this regard, the National Infrastructure Development Company Limited, or NITCO, has entered into an agreement with the Panamanian ship owners Trading Abroad SA to lease the MV Blue Wave Harmony for an initial period of 12 months. During this period, the government will continue its efforts towards the permanent acquisition of a dedicated cargo vessel for the inter-island sea route. So, in other words, we gain a boat for 12 months while the government continues to look for a permanent solution. The MV Blue Wave Harmony has already departed Egypt and is en route to the port of Port of Spain in time to commence operations as scheduled, fair weather conditions accepted. As a further precaution, contingency arrangements have been established with the Port Authority for the increased utilization of the TNT Spirit and the Galleon's Passage in the event of any unforeseen delay, thereby safeguarding continuity of service. So in other words, the boat don't leave Egypt to come here, and they're putting measures in place in case local rough sea or bad weather might delay this thing, so that the system will not stop. Then it says here, this is the most interesting paragraph to me. The MV Blue Wave Harmony represents a significant enhancement in both cargo handling capability and passenger accommodation.
You respect that? You respect that?
The vessel offers increased cargo capacity expanded, listen to this, so we have increased cargo capacity, meaning it could carry more load. Expanded refrigerated cargo capacity, it could carry more cold things, larger cold storage. Heavier duty loading ramps suitable for specialized and heavy cargo, and improved operational reliability through increased engine redundancy. Additionally, the vessel provides upgraded passenger comfort, including cabins. In other words, again, more cabins than the 5 you had. And I'm advised it will be somewhere in the vicinity of 100 cabins, moving up from 5. Improve the seating and dining facilities. So this is no little smoky rundown dry boat. And modern onboard amenities reflecting feedback received from ferry users, particularly Tobagonians. In other words, they say they came, they listened to the Tobago stakeholders, and they went and looked for a vessel to meet what the Tobago stakeholders want. That to me is respect, and that to me is how we work on behalf of the people of Tobago. If the other party was there, they would not ask me a single question. They would have go and just pick a boat and say, hey, take it. Instead, they came, they spoke to us, and they went and looked for a boat. The name of the boat is MV Blue Wave Harmony. In other words, all the boat blue. All the boat is signaling that a blue wave is coming here. Effective the date the Cabo Star will be going, which is January the 12th, 2026. Brothers and sisters, if that is not prophetic, I don't know what is. The MV Blue Wave Harmony, which is reflective of our very own theme of Tobago being we and us operating in harmony with each other, should be here on time for January 12th, 2026.
You respect that? You respect that?
And so, now that that is settled, I want to say to Tobago, that should still not negate our responsibility to have food security on the island. Beyond having the boat, I want to see the boat with expanded refrigerated services, with more cargo space, be able to take more cargo from Tobago down to Trinidad. It's time we send things down to sell instead of always having to buy things from them and bring it up. We have excellent products. We have excellent agro-produce processors, and we need to get their products done. I am very proud when I go into Trinidad supermarkets and I see beetroot, kuma coming from Tobago. I see smoked fish coming from Tobago. I go in the next one, I see Joe Fields with red mango and tamarind and tulum and thing, nicely packaged there in supermarket shelves down there. And I'm saying to you, Tobago, we can do it. We can produce things and sell to the rest of the world. That's the confidence I have in you. And that's why I'm saying to you, put your confidence in this election in God and the Tobago People's Party, because we will deliver. And so tonight, I want to end by telling you that our delivery will start with the deliverance of this seat to Zorisha Hackett, Bethesda, Coteaux seat. It will continue with Kurd, Barton, Alexis for Plymouth, Blackrock. It will travel all the way up the hills to Mr. Darren Henry for Bethel, Newgrange. In Patience Hill, Signal Hill, we will have Nigel Tate. In Lambo Lowlands, we will have Wayne Wasp Clark. down inside of Boko, Mount Pleasant, and I taking me time in case the mix-up what I say yesterday or last night. I taking me time in Boko, Mount Pleasant. The only person that will be taking home that seat is none other than Mr. Keegan Dinoon.
You respect that? You respect that?
We say no mercy for them, Percy. As we call out Nikita, Bounty, Percy for Bonaccord, Crown Point. We head up to Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, and we bring the hard-working Natisha Charles Pantin.
You respect that?
In Scarborough, Mount Grace, we are rocking with Mr. Trevor Williamson James. In Mason Hall North, Mariah, we have Ian Whitey Pollard. And now we're going up east. Now we're going up to the countryside. And we start off in Mount St. George, Goodwood. And in Mount St. George, Goodwood, she's somewhere here. She's here every single night. Miss Megan C. Morrison.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
And then we have the doctor from Bad Rock to represent Belgarden, Glamorgan. Dr. Faith Bremner. You know this team have plenty teachers. And that's why we'll beat and teach the backside come the 12th of January.
You respect that? You respect that?
It's time to, to go old school and pull out some whip and flog.
You go learn.
They're going to learn. If it's one time they're going to learn, they have to learn. Because in Roxborough, Argyle, we're bringing out Mr. Orlando Kerr. Put some respect on his name. The teacher will beat the student. Put some respect on his name. And then when they go to Palatovale Lands to Miss Speyside, when Maxwell don't lose the deposit already, because we're voting for yours truly, yours respectfully, Farley Augustine. Thank you and God bless you.
I'm looking on through the party. I hope I find you there. And when I hold on your body, I'm going to sign my name. Like this is respectfully. Don't get a party. Me and the baby. Proving and damning. The music seasons and we feel the seasons. I ain't ashamed to say every night and day. I want to wave, I want to wine, I want to party. I want to love you right, yeah.
Remember, brothers and sisters, tomorrow all road leads to Glamorgan, Pembroke Bridge, or Pembroke Bridge, Glamorgan, whichever way. 6 p.m., then 8 p.m. we move down to Mount St. George. So 6 p.m. tomorrow, we are at the Glamorgan of Pembroke Bridge. Then the action moves down to Mount St. George. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your show of love and support tonight. Remember, your symbol is the anchor. Monday, 12 January 2026. Your symbol is the anchor. Forget the name. Traveling mercies as we return to our homes this evening. See you tomorrow. Get some rest.